That's the car there. Got the fishing gear in the back. It's not quite light yet. The dawn chorus is in full swing, and I'll see you at the water's edge. I'm on the Staffordshire-Worcestershire Canal, cast out, watching that float, and making my first cup of tea of the day. I've never fished this particular spot before, but it's good to try new places, isn't it? See what's in there, see what you can catch. As you can no doubt hear, I'm not that far away from a road, and at this time of the day I think a lot of cars drive even faster than they would normally because there's not that much other traffic on the road, is there? And the Staffordshire-Worcestershire does tend to, although rural in many places like I am here, doesn't tend to be far away from a road, which of course is great for access. Oh, and the little dip on the float there tells me that I've got my first sign of interest. This could be good. What will it be? If it develops, I'm not sure it is. But that's encouraging, isn't it? Nothing came of that. Cast out again and watching the float. That's the brown crumb and the maggots that I often refer to. As you can see there, it's mixed, and I can mould it into a reasonable ball there so that it's not that firm that it just instantly sinks to the bottom, but when it hits the surface it will break up. But because there's crumb there, it'll go a little bit faster than perhaps normal maggots would if you just threw those in. And that's important because I want to get the bait onto the deck, and there are large shoals of roach in here, small roach, and they will intercept the bait on the way down. So the plan is to get that out when it hits the water, starts to break up, and it gets to the bottom a little bit quicker than ordinarily without the crumb. I buy sacks, by the way, of brown crumb. Buy that off the internet, get it delivered to home, and it's very cost effective. I use it a lot. I use it in a lot of my angling, whether it's canals, rivers, ponds, species as well, wide variety that I use crumb for. I find it excellent when you've got lots of feeding fish out there. You can put quite a bit of bait out, and crumb of course helps to pad it out and to bring the fish in because they'll feed on the smaller grains, the granules of the bread itself. So works very well for me. It's always a part of my angling sessions, invariably anyway. Let's see if I can get something on that float this time round. I'm into my first fish. I've had to wait about half an hour. It's a perch. It will need the net, and there it is. And as I often say, I will be back in due course to show you what I've caught. I'm off the mark with my favourite species. I always like to hold the dorsal fins up when I show them. I think it looks much better, doesn't it? Another thing I also do is look inside the mouth of the fish, not just the perch but anything, especially the bigger ones. You can see whether they've been feeding prolifically or not, and in the case of this one, it had. That's a good sign, isn't it? Second fish, and a second species, not as big as the ones I've been catching recently, but as you can see there, a bream. I'm fishing with a Grace Prodigy 12 feet float rod, a Shimano 3500 reel. That's loaded with 4-pound Maxima Chameleon. Been using that for many years. Small waggler, got the shot either side of that, and then there's nothing at all until you come within 3 inches of the size 12 hook with 3 white maggots on, and that is the anchor shot. Because, as I often say, on the canal, even when there's no boat traffic, there is still often a minimal flow, and that shot, though it's just a small one, helps to keep the bait in the place where you want it. a third species. That's a nice sized gudgeon, not deterred by the hook. I'm packing away. I always leave the rod and the landing net till the very end, and I've just caught this bream, the best one of the session as well.